Hi guys, my name is Breyonna, or better known as Lethal Kitten on all my social media platforms. For today's look, I did a warm tone smoky eye with kind of like a lavendery purple accent. It's kind of like an iridescent finish, and I think it really looks nice with that orange and red tone in the crease. As you can see, it's kind of interesting colors, and I really like how it turned out. It's super pretty. It's kind of honestly probably one of my new favorite looks I've done. Yet every look I do, I'm always like, I want to do it again because I love it so much. And I hope you really like this tutorial, and stay tuned on watching if you'd like to see how I did this look. First, I'm going to take the Too Faced Shadow Incher. Next, I'm going to take Natural from the Paaaarty Smoky Palette. It's this one right here. It's kind of like a matte bone shade. I'm just going to run this around my eye and setting it with a Sigma E35 blending brush. I like to set my primer because I don't like it as sticky, but sometimes when you set it and it's too sticky, it'll grab onto eyeshadows kind of funny. This one doesn't do it, but some do, and if you use concealer, sometimes it's a little too tacky. So I always just like to lightly set it. You can also use translucent powder. Next, using the same palette, I'm going to take this Radioactive shade, and with the Sigma E35 brush again, I'm just going to lightly put this yellow shade kind of a little higher up than normal because that's my transitional shade for today. With this yellow shade, you want to just keep on building up the color until you get it true to pan. Make sure when you're blending that you always kind of bring it into the inner corner a little bit, just so you don't have it where it's only blending into the crease right here, but kind of into the eye as well. Next, using the same Paaaarty palette, I'm just going to take Tasty right here. I'm just going to run this into the crease. And again, I'm just using the same Sigma brush. Next, I'm going to take Love Plus from the Sugar Pill Burning Heart palette. If you lose the intensity of the other colors, just keep on going back in between all the colors that you used. Like, since the red is the darkest, it might overpower the orange and the yellow. So you just want to keep on going in between all of them until you get it how you want it. For me, I want the red to be more deep into the crease, and then go orange and then yellow. Kind of blend it out. And I'm just using a Wet n Wild crease brush. If you're on a budget, these Wet n Wild brushes are really nice. The dollar ones, at least. I haven't tried their more expensive line yet, but I really like these dollar brushes. Or like the cheaper ones. The ones that, like the eyeshadow brushes, are $1 a piece, or about $2. You can get them at Dollar Tree too for $1, but they're so nice and they blend out really well and they're super soft. You be my birthday boy. I see your birthday. Next, I'm going to take this purple shade called PDA out of the Paaaarty palette. And again, using the same Sigma brush, I'm just going to start packing in that purple color into the crease. With this purple shade, we're going to kind of even bring it onto the lid lightly, and then just kind of blend it out into the red. As you can tell, the birthday boy needs to tell everybody that he's around. It's kind of surprising that Tinkerbell's gonna be, or is 11 today. Especially with pets, it's really, you remember them, like for me, when he was a baby. I actually had him since the day he was born, and I had his mom. And so I'm so used to having him around that I always forget how old he is, because I don't really remember a time that I didn't have him. It's kind of like when people have kids and they're like, I don't remember when I didn't have my children. Well, for me it's like I don't remember when I had my cat, because when I was younger I always had him. So Tinkerbell isn't my first pet by no means, but he's been around me for most of my adult life, or all my adult life, and a lot of like my teenage years and everything like that. If you lost any of the brightness of the other colors that you put down, just keep on going back and forth in between them all. I know a lot of times when you layer other colors, they kind of mash together and you have to go and backtrack. Next, I'm going to take Makita out of the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. This is my absolute favorite purple that's shimmery. It is one swipe and it is so pretty. I'm just going to take this Makita shade on a flat synthetic brush. This is a flat eyeshadow brush from Eco Tools. Just going to keep on packing this shade in. With this Makita shade, I'm just going to kind of bring it into about half of the eye. Just to kind of give us a base, because I'm going to do a cut crease. After we get that Makita shade placed, we're just going to keep on going back in with that purple shade called PD from the Paaaarty palette. We're just going to try to marry that purple into the red into the orange. Just to kind of bring everything together and blend it all together. If you lose a little bit of the vibrancy or the shimmer of Makita, don't worry about it because we're going to cut the crease and have to pretty much replace it in a way. This is just a general guideline. If your eyeshadow skips too, like how I have right in here, don't worry about it either. Next, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that Love Plus shade just to bring back the vibrancy of the red. And I'm going to kind of angle my brush so the red pigment is towards the top. So then it'll keep the purple where it's at, but then kind of blend the red upwards. So to show that, I just dipped my brush in and you can see the reds on the top. So I'm going to have the red be on the top of the brush. Next I'm going to cut the crease using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair. Next I'm going to take Dreamboat from Luxie Beauty, and I'm just going to wet my brush using some setting spray. I'm going to apply this color into the inner corner. Next I'm going to take Charmed from Luxie Beauty. This is more like a pink base with like an iridescent blue to it. I'm just going to pack that right next to Dreamboat. Kind of blend them in together. Next I'm going to go back in with that Makita shade and just kind of feather it into Charmed. Kind of like placing the color and then kind of flicking it in to blend them together. I also like to do these blending motions of like zigzagging down. I think that really helps too. When blending in Makita, if you lost some of that Charm shade, just go back in and kind of pat and zigzag. Blend it in with Makita a little bit better. Off camera, I'm just going to finish the rest of my face and apply eyelashes and eyeliner. Next for highlight, I'm going to take the Adept Cosmetics highlighting palette in Moonbeam, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques domed eyeshadow brush. It's kind of like that. I'm just going to lightly hit the top of the cheekbone, kind of bring it up. For the inner corner, I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette, and I'm going to take this Blue Ice shade right here. And I'm just going to apply this using a damp brush. And I'm just using a Eco Tools sponger brush. And then I'm just going to lightly bring it down. And then last but not least, I'm going to set it all using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So here's the finished look. It is a warm toned smoky eye with kind of like a iridescent purple accent to it. I really like how it turned out, and I didn't really expect that the colors would blend together as well as they did. Because I was kind of assuming that this bluish purple tone wasn't going to go well with it. But I really like how it turned out, and it really has a unique vibe to it as well. I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up. And let me know what you guys would like to see next. I think I'm going to be doing maybe another cool tone look next. That's kind of what's on my list. Let me know what colors you would like me to use for it. If you would like to follow me on other social media platforms, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten and my Twitter account is @lethalskittens. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.